Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling. It has been a while since I've uploaded a video on the channel. I apologize. I've been really busy trying to find an apartment to move into and get the fuck out of this rat trap I've been living in for the last 2 years. Been a little difficult with the pandemic and everything else going on. So I've been really busy with that. Haven't had a chance, never got a chance to watch SmackDown or AEW Rampage. I'm sure Rampage was an okay show for an hour, and SmackDown probably really sucked balls for 2 hours. More than likely with a few things here and there that people probably enjoyed. So I'm not going to really go over that stuff. So I apologize to you guys if you were anticipating that. I was looking forward to doing it, but unfortunately things got really busy here in my own life. So I went ahead and took the opportunity to watch a week 2 of Monday Night Raw on this fucking channel to review and give you guys something to, enjoy, because I know how you all enjoy those rants that I give you guys for Monday Night Raw, because, my goodness, if there is one shitty fucking show on all television, this is it. I mean, there ain't a fucking thing can be worse than this, outside of maybe some reality TV show that nobody could give a flying fuck about. But, bottom line, when it comes to wrestling, this is by far the crappiest show you'll ever find. So if you want to see crap, you got it. Monday Night Raw. It ain't Raw, it's shit. Oh, man, folks. I'm going to go ahead real quick while I talk to you. I'm going to pull up the match card, because I am not going to sit here and do what I did last week, which I gave you guys a 50-minute video of what took place on this card, because bottom line, this show sucked. I mean, it had some good moments, but most of it was downright pitiful. I'll give you a prime example. Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. Do any of you care about this tag team? No. But here's the thing. They wanted to make you care about these two characters by splitting them up when they haven't even hit stride yet. They haven't hit their prime as a tag team. They haven't even challenged or sniffed a tag team championship opportunity. But what do? They want to split these two up and make people, and they think people are going to be interested in this. This is going to be important for you to invest your time in. Why would I invest my time in a tag team that hasn't even established itself yet? I mean, folks, come on, let's be real here. Have a brain. Think about this long and hard. Who the fuck would invest their time on a tag team that hasn't even established itself yet? If they actually won tag team titles maybe once or twice, and they had a really good run for a year, and people were really interested in this tag team, and people were excited to see them come on the show, and then they decided, okay, we've gotten enough tag teams built up. Let's move them on and let them be singles competitors. I can understand that. Within a year, you probably could get like 2 or 3 extra tag teams added to the mix on Raw or SmackDown. But the thing is, you're not going to. You didn't build shit with these two. So why would I care about them being split apart? Outside of the fact that neither one of them are going to appear on television. It's downright pitiful. That's just one of the examples that made this show absolutely terrible. Then we had the 2 world championships, referring to the women's championship and the WWE championship, being in tag team wrestling. Oh, folks, this is fucking god-awful terrible shit. They had the tag team, they had tag team wrestling with world champions against their challengers. And Charlotte Flair, on the other hand, she's just sitting on the sidelines. Why is she even a part of this? Who the hell knows? You'd think we would have had a handicap match with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. But did we get that? No, we didn't get any of that. Instead, we had Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch tag teaming together against the 2 challengers for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, folks, let's be honest. Who the fuck thinks that Bianca Belair is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is on Monday Night Raw. Again, last week I stated it, and I'll state it again. Apologize, I'm messing up on my words here. I've been doing a lot of talking, so there probably will be a lot of hiccups and issues with me fucking up what I'm trying to say, but that ain't nothing new here on this channel. I'm always fucking up what I'm trying to say, because I am a fuck up when it comes to talking. Like I've always said, I'm not the best talker on the mic, but I do deliver logic and reasoning behind my comments. So, bottom line, like I said last week, why in the world would you have a draft that doesn't become effective until after the pay-per-view? Why not do the draft after the pay-per-view? That way you don't have to worry about all the bullshit that you're doing on the two shows leading up to the build towards the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which is not all that big of a deal. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Anyway, my computer's acting up here, which is nothing new either. I'm just trying to pull up the match card that took place on Monday Night Raw so I could just go over the results of that and also give you a few of the segments that I remember that they did that was important. Oh yeah, here's another good one. Remember that wonderful segment they did last week on Raw where they put Austin Theory in a good situation with Jeff Hardy, and they did a selfie and then he attacked Jeff Hardy afterwards? Well, they went ahead and did something I thought they were going to do, like put them in the first round of the tournament. Neither one of them were in the tournament, by the way. And to add insult to injury, they decided to just put them in a one-week build, one-on-one matchup, where they had the 24/7 championship cared about in the middle of their match. Like they had a segment with Reggie running around trying to avoid from being pinned for his 24/7 title. This is what you're trying to do to build Austin Theory. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy is a star in the making, possibly in your hands, and you're fucking it up in day one. Number 2, no Karrion Kross whatsoever. Not even a vignette. Not a comment, nothing. Not even a match, not an appearance, nothing. I haven't seen Karrion Kross on this fucking show in 2 weeks since I started doing reviews again on Monday Night Raw. This is pathetic. This guy was a former NXT World Champion, and in 2 weeks, he hasn't had an appearance on this fucking show. And he's been drafted to Monday Night Raw. Why did they just leave him off the draft and not even fucking care about him? I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. Seriously, man. Who the fuck makes this shit? The only thing, and I mean the only thing that I actually care about on Monday Night Raw is this build between Big E and Drew McIntyre. And not that it's a big deal or anything. First off, they're giving away the results. Again, the draft not being effective until after the pay-per-view. Again, why'd they have the draft before the pay-per-view then if it's not going to go in effect immediately after the draft results came about? Still don't understand that. But whatever. Anyway, so the build between these two guys are not that big of a deal. On paper, we have two guys that have been mid-card wrestlers for a very long time. They've just hit their stride at becoming world champions. Big E's win, really, that sucked. Again, I will say this 100 times over again. Having him cash in on Bobby Lashley about a month or two later than the pay-per-view of the SummerSlam pay-per-view was the biggest miss I have ever seen, all just so they can get a Goldberg-Bobby Lashley match to take place on the pay-per-view of SummerSlam. The fuck? So anyway, I'll get into Bobby Lashley in just a minute. So Big E cashes in the month of September, and whoop-de-fucky-do, it meant nothing. But this thing that he's got with Drew McIntyre, I'm enjoying this. I actually could see that there's a possibility that Drew McIntyre may become a heel. I think that's the main purpose of this matchup between these two guys. So if you really think about it, it's not the importance of the match of who wins and who loses. It's how they push Drew McIntyre to becoming a heel again. And I kind of saw at the end of this show that we kind of saw some of those heel-like not tactics, but kind of traits coming through on Drew McIntyre through his eyes, the way he looked. He looked very mad, very angry. But then again, I mean, these two are competing for the WWE Championship, and there was an incident in their tag team match against the Usos in the fact that Drew McIntyre fell off the apron with an accidental bump into the two of them. Big E accidentally was shoved into Drew McIntyre. He fell, hit his head onto the steel steps, he had a really bad gash and a very big knot on his head. A lot of swelling there. Looked like somebody punched him the fuck out, but that was just the steel steps that actually hit him. And you could see blood pouring out of his head. It looked like a giant pimple on his fucking skull, but that was not the case. But anyway, yeah, just to mention, I forgot to mention the date. Holy fuck. October 11th, 2021 review of Monday Night Raw. So I forgot to mention that to you guys. But yeah. This was one of the most piss-poor shows I have ever seen. Really. The King of the Ring tournament. Holy fuck. Oh, yeah, let me go back to the thing with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley had a segment on the show where he talks about his match with Goldberg. Folks, there's only one thing I can say about Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. This is just the burial of Goldberg giving Bobby Lashley the middle finger and shoving his ass 6 feet deep into the grave in Saudi Arabia. Say hello to the Fiend, Bobby. You're gonna meet him, and it ain't gonna be fun. This match ain't going nowhere but 1 minute and 30 seconds max. Max. That's all I'm giving it, man. This guy is going to get buried beyond belief. It's going to be like the Fiend, man. It's going to be a joke show. I don't even think we're going to see any chairs. I don't think we're going to see shit. It's going to be a spear, jackhammer, and possibly him beating the shit out of him with some steel chairs for a while, break his fucking leg, and then spear him, and then jackhammer him one more time, if he can even lift him up after all the chair shots he gives him, because he'll probably be so gosh darn tired from throwing all the chair shots and the spears that he won't be able to fucking deal with, doing a jackhammer with a guy the size of Bobby Lashley. Probably drop him on his fucking head and end his career that way, and that'll be the end of Bobby, and the Almighty will be gone. So much for being the Almighty. Yeah. But he claims that he can't kill the Almighty, he can't destroy the Almighty, and he sure as hell can't end the career of the Almighty. Bro, you ain't God, and damn, are you on the wrong? You're on the wrong show, with the wrong company, and sure as hell at the wrong time, because Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Bruce really know how to make a show shitty. They do a great job together. Vincent McMahon calls the shots, and Bruce gets on his knees and sucks those balls. That's what he does best. Anyway, I just love taking shots at Bruce Pritchard because that motherfucker does not do anything to say, no, this is not the way we need to go creatively. It's like, why the fuck be the executive creator of the show when you're sitting there having to kiss Vincent McMahon's ass? Everything he says has to be exactly that, or else. I mean, like, come on, man. Vince McMahon has no open mind. Who the fuck should... I mean, literally, again, have said this before, I'll say it again. Why hasn't the people of this company gone on strike with Vince McMahon and say, look, you got to change some shit, or we got to go, man? I mean, what's Vince McMahon going to do? Tell everyone you're all fired? You're all fired. Yeah, sure, he's going to go ahead and take a fucking billion-dollar conglomerate company like WWE, who has the company's been around for 50 plus years, and he's going to tell all of his employees you're all fired. What? Come on, man. The guy's gonna have to make a change if people would just stand up and say, no, we're not taking it anymore. He's not gonna throw away everything that he's built. I mean, then again, he might just sell the company at that point and say, fuck it, I don't want it. I ain't got nobody working for me anymore, so I'll just go ahead and sell it. It's always an option. But hey, what are you going to do? So let's go through this King of the Ring shit. I saw that Sami Zayn and Finn Balor have moved on to the next round. I also saw Rey Mysterio face Sami Zayn. Finn Balor, I forgot who he faced in those brackets from SmackDown, so it doesn't really make a difference. I think they made the right choices there. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn in the semifinals is actually a great decision, especially for Sami Zayn getting some airtime and getting a little bit of a push. Not that he's going to win the semifinals and move on to the next round or anything, but I think it's kind of a nice little thing that they're doing for him, and hopefully we get to see him do something important here. Well, not maybe important, but maybe have an exciting matchup with Finn Balor, and more than likely Finn Balor will win that match. But bottom line, guys, let's be real. This tournament is the biggest waste of all time, unless Finn Balor is winning that fucking that King of the Ring tournament, and we see him challenge for the WWE Championship against Big E at some point later on this year. That's the only way I'd be okay with it. And Finn Balor would have to become a heel. That's all I'd have to say on that. Because this saying he goes by is he's the prince. Well, why not go from a prince to a fucking king? That would make more sense. That's number one. Number two, him becoming a heel would even make more sense for him to be a challenger for the WWE Championship against Big E. I think those two would have an excellent match against each other. Not to mention, I would definitely push for Finn Balor to win the WWE Championship because he is more of a main eventer than Big E is right now. I don't think Big E needs to stay WWE Champion. I think he needs to go back down to the mid-card for a little bit, rebuild himself back up, and then earn that WWE Championship shot opportunity by SummerSlam of next year. I think you give him until the Royal Rumble, have him lose the title to Finn Balor. I think that's a fair enough run for him, at least from September to January, giving him that time to be able to hold on to that title, have a few good opponents under his belt, to at least say that his first title reign was decent. But after that, I think by the Royal Rumble on January 29th, by the way, it was announced on this episode of Raw last night, that they're going to have the Royal Rumble, even though they have a New Year's Day pay-per-view, which I don't know why the fuck that's taking place and why that's important to take place at all. It would have been actually cooler if they would have had the January 1st pay-per-view be the Royal Rumble and forget about a December pay-per-view, because let's face facts, folks. December's pay-per-views don't mean shit. People are more concerned about the holidays and spending time with their families than worrying about pro wrestling. Not that Vince McMahon calls his shit show pro wrestling at all, even though they're doing that in the middle of the ring. So, whatever, folks. But I think Finn Balor winning that tournament and defeating Big E in January, the Royal Rumble, would be a fantastic idea and gives Big E some time to enjoy his reign as champion and have a couple of wins under his belt as world champ. So that's just the way I feel about that. It also give him that opportunity to face Roman Reigns one-on-one. I don't think that Finn Balor should beat Big E for the championship and then face Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. That sure as hell can't fucking happen. Because we've already seen that shit happen before at least twice. So, this happening again would be a terrible idea. I'd hold off on Finn Balor until the Royal Rumble. So, the first match on the card was Xavier Woods defeating Ricochet. What a terrible decision. Why isn't Ricochet moving on to the next round? I don't know. The match was decent. I enjoyed it for what it was. But Ricochet not winning really sucks. Xavier Woods moves on to round 2 for the semifinals. Kofi Kingston faced Jinder Mahal later that night and lost to Jinder Mahal. They also announced, they were asking actually backstage before they went through with their entrance, what they think would happen if the two of them went up against each other in the semifinals. They said they kind of brushed it off, didn't really answer the question. Kofi and him just ran out with their entrance running, and that was it. So they completely ignored the question altogether. No big deal there. Matt Riddle, by the way, holy fuck, this guy gets more and more dumb each and every week. I don't know how the hell you people can even stand watching this motherfucker at this point. Outside of what he does in the ring and the few things that he does, the comedic stuff that he does with Randy Orton here and there is pretty decent. But other than that, the rest of his act is just completely shit. I mean, all he does is fucking act like a goofy pothead and has birds coming out of his fucking shoes when he kicks them off. I don't know why that happens. I don't know why they think that's a great idea. I thought the guy was a pothead, not a person who drops acid. So I don't understand the graphic with the birds coming out of the shoe shit, but it's really fucking annoying, number one. And number two, it makes me kind of want to go see a live show, but not want to see a live show. But I want to see a live show so I don't have to see the fucking graphics on my screen. Because it is annoying. And why they have it is beyond me, outside of kicking their audience off the television set so they don't have to watch Matt Riddle's match. I have no idea. But bottom line, I just don't get the act anymore. I think it's completely over the top and childish. Not that nothing on the show is adult-like anyway. It's more for fucking retards and children. And I don't even understand how children can enjoy this shit. I remember back when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was living in Pennsylvania. It was about 1995, around the time Shawn Michaels was on the brink of winning the WWE Championship and Kevin Nash was WWE Champ as Diesel. They really, outside of Shawn Michaels, Diesel I enjoyed, and Bret Hart, I didn't really particularly care for WWE at all. I spent most of my time watching WCW Nitro from 9 to 10 o'clock, since it was an hour show before I went to sleep. And I spent my time, actually, I think it was 8 to 9. That might be wrong. It might have been 8 to 9 when they first started. But yeah, I enjoyed watching WCW so much more than Monday Night Raw in 1995. They were so, like, childish. This is just so worse. I mean, this is fucking terrible. This makes my brain want to melt. But thank goodness for DVR, and I can skip through commercials and skip anything I don't care to watch. So, I deal with it. I want to give you guys some videos to catch on the channel and enjoy, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And if you do, I greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And I appreciate your support to the channel. We are now at 213 subscribers. I got 2 extra subscribers already added to the channel while I was on this long-ass break. Not being able to do much of anything with the channel lately over the weekend because of all the stuff that's been taking place in my life. But, yeah, this is just fucking shit. I don't know how anyone can stand Matt Riddle and the way he's been acting lately, but whatever. Going back to Mustafa Ali and Mansoor soonly soaring away from all of us. The Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, win their match in less than a minute and 30 seconds. This is fucking shit. Really, this is fucking shit. Match was short and sweet to the point. Nothing special happened there. Really garbage. Another match was a minute and 25 seconds. It was the Queen's Crown tournament for the women. Of course, Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke. And Dewdrop, yeah, that name sounds so fucking stupid, it's ridiculous. Dewdrop. Yeah, Dewdrop a few pounds, please. That's what the fucking real name of that, the purpose of that name. Dewdrop. Dewdrop a few pounds now. You're a little overweight, please. Piper Niven. I just don't get this whole operandi, what they're doing here. Dewdrop, I'm going to call her Piper Niven. I can't stand the name Dewdrop. It sounds so fucking stupid. Either it sounds like a fucking, like, drop drugs, drop down on drugs, or drop a few pounds. I mean, it's some shit like that. But, I mean, the name is fucking ridiculous. Come on, man. What a joke. But yeah, she beat Natalya. Natalya loses in this matchup. Shayna Baszler looked on and the whole time, I believe. I don't remember. Who fucking cares? We also had a match with Omos versus Riddle. Randy Orton never came to the match during the match or stood by his side. Matt Riddle told him I actually set up a match with Omos, and Randy Orton said, I never planned on having you face Omos. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, if that's what you want to do, you're on your own, pal. So, have a good time. And he said, wait, you had a plan last week. Dude, that was a one-time and only thing. I really don't have a plan for us at the pay-per-view, except to defend the titles and walk away the winners. That's really all he had to say in that whole segment. I mean, this combination between Riddle and fucking, Randy Orton is just absolutely goofy as shit. It's like a copycat of The Rock and Mankind, only Mankind was cool. He had a sadistic and psychotic side to him that made him, like, tough and badass, even though he was also goofy and stupid at the same time. But he didn't come across so fucking over-the-top ridiculous. Matt Riddle comes across like a fucking complete jackass with no sadistic or tough side to him. He's a soft, jelly-like character that comes across with innuendos of pothead smoking and bullshit. And maybe a few little innuendos of doing acid with the fucking birds coming out of his damn shoes. I mean, the fucking whole thing is retarded. That's all I can say on that subject. On the other side of the women's tournament for the Queen of the Ring, I think is Carmella and Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega beat Toni Storm in the first round. Zelina Vega, a woman who hasn't won I think that was the first match she ever won in her fucking career since she's come back to the WWE. That's pretty fucking sad. Holy shit. And Toni Storm eating a L against a woman who's been, like, winless since she came back is god-awful pathetic. What a joke. Yeah, so Carmella and Zelina Vega move on to the semifinals on the SmackDown side. And I think Zelina Vega is on Monday Night Raw. I don't know why the fuck she's been drafted on Monday Night Raw, but I don't know why the hell this is all just staying the same while we're leading up to this pay-per-view. It makes no sense. I just don't understand why the fuck the draft took place on October 1st when it should take place on October 22nd. But hey, I'm just a guy reviewing this crap and giving you the facts. And that's all I can say. but almost beats Riddle in less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact. Austin Theory and Jeff Hardy had a match. Did Austin Theory win with a finishing maneuver? Of course not. He grabbed the tights after there was a distraction with the fucking retards in the middle of the ring. A swanton bomb from the top rope. Austin Theory moves out of the way. He misses, and then he grabs him by the tights, by the pants, and pulls the pants to get a leverage pin over him in a roll-up pinfall. What is the big fucking deal about the roll-up pin? Has Vincent Mann lost his mind to the point where he doesn't believe in finishing maneuvers? That everyone's finishing maneuvers a roll-up pin? Like, how the fuck does that even make any sense? But I digress. There's no point in reiterating the same garbage I've said before about this ridiculous company. So, let's move on. Austin Theory won that match. Already went over about Jinder Mahal beating Kofi Kingston, so we won't have to worry about Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods facing each other at the semifinals. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair went up against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. This match didn't just take place once. It took place twice. And both times it ended with the same result. A no contest. A fucking no contest because both sides were beating the shit out of each other. Charlotte Flair, for whatever the reason is, she has some fucking beef with Becky Lynch for no apparent reason. Hopefully they unify these two fucking belts and we just move on with our lives and unify the fucking belts and just have the champion navigate to both shows each and every week. Solve that fucking issue once and for all and basically migrate the women's division as one, only they don't go on each other's show, only the champion does, like they used to back in the day when they had one world champion, which made a lot more sense, outside of the fact I did enjoy watching and seeing people carry around the old WCW World Championship as the World Heavyweight title. I really liked that belt. But at the end of the day, outside of that idea that they went with so that they could have one person on one show as a world champion on each show, that was about it. The rest of it was all garbage. So, bottom line, I don't really give a fuck about this shit. I already mentioned about Doudrop beating Natalya. No big deal there. And then the tag team, not tag team championship, but just the tag team non-title match, had the Usos facing the Big E and Drew McIntyre, and they won by countout because Drew McIntyre and Big E decided to turn on each other after the small incident they had during that portion of the match where Drew McIntyre falls off the apron and bumps his skull with a big knot on his head, and that's how the show goes off the air, with those two brawling each other, and then Drew McIntyre delivering a Claymore kick to end the show, with him kind of like having the upper hand moving forward in the storyline. So that's basically it. That's all there was. The show sucked. The show sucked. This show sucks. Every fucking episode absolutely sucks. And I will come on here each and every week from here on out on a Tuesday night, since I can't stand sitting through an Impact Wrestling show, because to be quite frank with you, I don't know which one is worse, Impact Wrestling or Raw, but at least I have fun and enjoy myself shitting all over this show than Impact Wrestling, because Impact Wrestling, I gotta admit, guys, I was getting bored of that shit. I don't even really care for it. Unless you're talking about TNA, back in the day, you want me to do old school TNA reviews, I could definitely do that. But bottom line, they don't even have those episodes on Impact Plus. All they got is the pay-per-views. The only Impact Wrestling episodes they have from back in the day was like from 2004 when they initially started all the way up to 2007, going a little bit into 2008. And then they completely stopped with all the episodes in 2008. And there's nothing there until like 2016. which the show was fucking garbage at that point. All they had big names on there, but at the same time, it was just terribly booked. Nothing really special took place on those shows. So I'm not going to sit there and give you guys reviews and bore myself. At least with this, I can skip through stuff. I can go ahead and have a reason to be pissed off about the way this company is, because they are a super mega fucking company. They've been around for a long time, and it just boggles my mind how a guy with so much money can care so little about a show that has brought him millions upon millions of dollars and made him a conglomerate of a company, and how he can shit it all away in one fell swoop, and also shit on its audience, on his audience, and not give a flying fuck about it. So, I don't quite understand it, but hey, it is what it is, folks. So that's your review. Monday Night Raw, October 11th, 2021 review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button at this time. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you have a great night, guys. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow about Dynamite. Bye.